Gen Z is facing the worst unemployment rate in decades.
More often than not, it's literally just rejection, rejection, rejection. And it's always like the automated messages. I've only gotten like one where it's like, oh, you can do like a video interview, but that's like the first stage out of like 7 others. So no luck.
So is it just a feeling that there are no jobs out there, or is Gen Z actually facing an employment problem?
Gen Z is facing the worst unemployment rate of anyone. Gen Z's unemployment rate is more than 50% higher than anyone else's, and it's the worst that it's been in a decade, except of course during the lockdown.
So Gen Z and millennials are facing a financial crisis right now. Everyone is hiring, but no one seems to be getting a job. This is actually a pretty normal conversation for me in my real life. I was actually just talking to a friend literally just the other night, and these are people with degrees, by the way, and she's telling me she can't find a job. She told me actually this particular job that she has applied for, they told her that the interviewing process was going to be 4 to 5 interviews before they actually hire you on. So she's like, what the hell is this, right? Now she's just applying for anything, right? Like warehouse jobs and oh, my camera, excuse me. You know, anything to get some sort of money because people need money and no one's hiring. So I really want to highlight this. I've highlighted a similar video in the past, but I really want this to be really brought to the forefront, especially if you're like someone struggling with a job right now. Send this to your parents, or you know, people who want the best for you, because there is like a generational like disconnect to where, you know, I mean, I've heard from even one of my friends. He was telling me that, you know, like his dad was really on him about something. He needs to go show up to these places like physically, and it's just not like that anymore, right? The world is different. Everything is digital now, and AI is taking over a lot of jobs. It's pretty crazy to see. So we're gonna go over some of these comments from the videos that I've seen on TikTok and just highlight some things. So thank you for stopping by and enjoy the content and the channel.
Everyone else is the widest that it's been in many years. And even the Fed is saying that job market conditions have deteriorated noticeably for new grads. And things are so bad that they are extending to college grads who've been in the workforce for a couple of years. Translation, companies just do not want new grads or entry-level employees. So when people tell me that the economy is doing better than ever, I tell them, look at the young people, look at the new grads. They are experiencing a crisis. And to the current administration's policymakers for not focusing enough on improving conditions for young people and new grads, you've just made the D3 list, a podcast about dumb, desperate, and diabolical business decisions.
Here we go. The worst part is everywhere is hiring, but no one is hiring. This is extremely true right now. I think that they just send that out. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's like a loophole for a lot of these jobs where they have to just say that they're hiring, even when they're really not hiring, and it's really lame. I don't know what that's about, but if anyone is more informed about that, please let me know. Fresh out of college and they want 2 to 3 years of experience. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I've actually seen some crazy descriptions where it's like, they want so much for just an entry-level job. It's like, who has that? I often wonder, who are they actually hiring? You know, like by the end of like these 5th interviews, 6 interviews, sometimes interview processes that are a month plus, who is actually getting hired, if anyone at all? Oftentimes, I think that they just want information from us. For example, I was recently trying to get a job for this social media coordinator position. I do a lot of digital work type stuff. And the interview process was about a month, right? And they had me do a sample project. They wanted me to create a sample project, which I did and they paid me for, but I didn't end up getting the job. I thought I was gonna get it, but I'm like, well, who did end up getting the job? I feel like they just had a bunch of the last candidates, right, make sample projects, and then they just received our information and didn't hire anyone so that they could do it themselves. It seems to me like a lot of that nonsense is going on. Here we go right here, the young ones don't want to work. Yeah, this is something you hear often from the older generation. They say Gen Z people are lazy. I think that there is some truth to that. I don't think it's as extreme as what they're making it to be. It really is just hard to find jobs right now. People are not hiring, but everyone is hiring. Now, because who created Indeed? It's just for decoration. I believe this to be true. Indeed is pretty much useless. In fact, I think that the CEO of Indeed was recently fired partially due to AI. I remember seeing something about that, I want to say a month ago now. So yeah, Indeed is really just a waste of time. A lot of these spots are just a waste of time. I mean, if you've been on LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, it feels like when you upload applications, it's going into nowhere. And then you get the same response from each and every one of them. This person says even regular jobs like cashiers, retail, and food, they all want certifications, cover letters, and a video resume for minimum wage, no benefits. This is the most insane thing to me right here. Like, all right, hey, okay, so if anyone's looking for a job right now, do you guys know, like, obviously you have to send in your resume, but then they still want you to put in all your work experience. I'm like, well, and then they make it to where you have to do it, right? So you have to put in your work experience, even though your resume would already have this. And then on top of that, they do want cover letters and all this extra stuff for basic jobs. That's the trippy part. It's not even for some like high-end job. It's like a very basic job and they ask for the most. Crazy. This person says, thank you for your interest, 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 etc., etc., etc. Yeah, you will be seeing this often. If you're someone looking for a job right now, this is something that you will be seeing often. I want to know who is actually being hired today. I have yet to see someone actually be like, I got the job. If that is you, please inform us about what happened. What is the magic potion, or what is it like? What do we need to do? This person says, instead of nobody wants to work anymore, it's really nobody wants to train anymore. I'm pretty sure there's some truth to that, you know, especially with people. And the thing is, AI is trippy because I can see jobs like a teacher being replaced. We have teachers now, but I'm pretty sure like a teacher is going to be replaced, and you won't have to have an actual physical person to train you or teach you. You just have a video of some sort, and artificial intelligence teaching a whole curriculum, right? We're gonna see stuff like that. This person says the only jobs they give young people right now are part-time garbage. We deserve to start building our careers. I don't think they want you to. Honestly, you can see the gradual, like if the middle class isn't completely wiped out now, this is sort of like foresight. Like you can see, like imagine 10, 15, 20 years from now, there will only be rich and poor completely, because a lot of these jobs will be completely replaced by AI because it saves people money, right? Why? Like if you have a robot or AI doing something, it's never going to get tired. It's never going to complain, right? A human will complain, so they just replace you. And that's what we're seeing right now. People are gradually being replaced. This person says, never forget how the boomers literally destroyed our futures. They had the best economy in recent history, and look what they left us with. Trash. How many of us have to say we've been applying to jobs and nobody will hire us? Does it take for people to believe we are applying for jobs and no one is hiring us? Well, I will say I'm glad that this is being, like it's a big thing and it's a huge conversation. I'm glad to see multiple viral videos on these topics being on the news and people talking about this, because it is a huge problem, especially if you're someone who has degrees, right? Like degrees are becoming useless and skills are going to be something that you should be working on, like trades and stuff like that. Having a skill will bring you a long way instead of, and you know, that's something that really don't teach you in school. This is certain things that you kind of have to figure out yourself. School kind of teaches you, they don't really teach you things that like you can do this for yourself. You could learn this skill and you can say, like, they teach you how to work for others, not how to work for yourself. And I think there should be a balance there. There should be a nice balance that the education system just doesn't do. This person says, and everywhere is low staffed, everyone is cutting hours, they just don't want to hire. Even when you see things like hiring immediately, it's still a ridiculous process before you're actually hired, if you're hired. This person says, I don't I don't even get an automated response anymore. That's wild. This person says, y'all get responses. This person says, job market's so bad, still stuck in low paying job, but I guess I should feel lucky. Yeah, if you actually have a job right now, keep it, because if you leave your job, people as we speak are not getting jobs. Everyone is hiring and no one is getting a job. That is a very accurate statement. In conclusion, it's hard out there. Times are changing, right? Times are definitely changing. I say, you know, invest in a trade, or get a solid skill. Try and find a warehouse job. I know that it feels like even me saying that it goes into one ear and out the other because it like doesn't really matter. But I mean, you have to keep trying, right? People got to get paid. People have to make money. People have to live, and to live, you need money. It's a crazy time we're living. I would say emphasize and focus on communities too. Especially, you know, living in America. America is a very selfish, we have very get it for yourself, I got this is mine kind of behavior. But focus on communities, you know, what I lack, you have, we have kind of thing. Like if you have someone helping you out, you're blessed. I mean, that's super dope and super cool. But when you get on the other side, right, when you have money, definitely try and help the people close to you and see if you guys can build something collectively. So emphasize community. That would definitely be my advice. If you guys have liked this video, thank you for checking it out. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching to the end. I'll see you guys next time.